This video is about famous Hollywood celebrities and people who passed away in June 2015 in the United States. Before we proceed, please subscribe to our channel to support us. Monica Lewis, she was born in May 1922 and she died in June 2015. Her age was 93 at the time of her death and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Monica Lewis was an American singer and actress who rose to prominence as a vocalist for various big bands in the 1940s. She later transitioned into acting, appearing in several films and television shows. Known for her sultry voice and engaging presence, she had a career spanning several decades. George Winslow, he was born in May 1946 and he died in June 2015. His age was 69 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was heart disease. George Winslow was a popular child actor of the 1950s, known for his distinctive gravelly voice and deadpan delivery. He often played precocious, charming young boys in various Hollywood films. His unique voice made him memorable in his brief but impactful career. Dick Van Patten, he was born in December 1928 and he died in June 2015. His age was 86 at the time of his death and the reason for his death were complications from diabetes. Dick Van Patten was a versatile American actor whose career spanned several decades, often recognized for his role as patriarch Tom Bradford in the television series 8 is Enough. Beyond acting, he was a businessman and a devoted animal welfare advocate. His warm and relatable persona endeared him to audiences. Patrick Macnee, he was born in February 1922 and he died in June 2015. His age was 93 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Patrick Macnee was a British actor best known for his iconic role as the impeccably dressed secret agent John Steed in the popular 1960s television series The Avengers. He had a long and varied career, appearing in numerous films and television shows. His suave demeanor and distinctive voice made him a beloved figure. Jack Carter, he was born in June 1922 and he died in June 2015. His age was 93 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was respiratory failure. Jack Carter was a high-energy American comedian and actor, a veteran of vaudeville, Broadway, and countless television appearances. Known for his rapid-fire delivery and animated style, he was a staple on variety shows for decades. He also had a prolific career in film and television. Robert Chartoff, he was born in August 1933 and he died in June 2015. His age was 81 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was pancreatic cancer. Robert Chartoff was an Academy-winning American film producer best known for his work on iconic films like Rocky and Raging Bull. He co-founded Chartoff Winkler Productions, which was behind several critically acclaimed and commercially successful movies. His contributions significantly impacted American cinema. Phil Austin, he was born in April 1941 and he died in June 2015. His age was 74 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was cardiac arrest. Phil Austin was an American comedian, writer, and voice actor, best known as a founding member of the surrealist comedy group The Feinstein Theater. He was instrumental in creating their unique brand of elaborate and imaginative radio plays and albums. His distinctive voice and creative mind were central to the group's success. Jack Rollins, he was born in March 1915 and he died in June 2015. His age was 100 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Jack Rollins was a highly influential American talent manager and film producer, renowned for discovering and nurturing the careers of numerous comedic talents, most notably Woody Allen and Lenny Bruce. His keen eye for talent and his guidance helped shape the landscape of modern comedy. He played a crucial behind-the-scenes role in many successful careers. Blaise Starr, she was born in April 1932 and she died in June 2015. Her age was 83 at the time of her death and the reason for her death was heart condition. Blaise Starr was an iconic American stripper and burlesque star, famous for her various performances and inventive use of stage props. She gained notoriety for her affair with Louisiana Governor Earl Long, which became the subject of a book and a film. Starr was a prominent figure in the golden age of burlesque. Chris Thompson, he was born in 1952 and he died in June 2015. His age was 63 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was a long illness. Chris Thompson was an American television writer and producer with a career spanning decades in Hollywood. He worked on popular shows like Laverne and Shirley and The Larry Sanders Show, and also created several series including Bosom Buddies and Shake It Up. Thompson was a significant force in television comedy. Stephen Bloner, he was born in September 1933 and he died in June 2015. His age was 82 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from a broken hip. Stephen Bloner was a prominent American music executive who played a significant role in the careers of many folk and rock legends. He was particularly known for his long association with Bob Dylan, and as manager for Peter, Paul, and Mary. Bloner was a key figure in the music industry during a transformative era. James Horner, he was born in August 1953 and he died in June 2015. His age was 61 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was plane crash. James Horner was an acclaimed American film composer, renowned for his sweeping and emotional scores. He won 2 Academy Awards for his work on Titanic, and his scores for films like Braveheart and Apollo 13 are widely recognized. Horner's music brought depth and power to countless cinematic experiences. Jim Ed Brown, he was born in April 1934 and he died in June 2015. His age was 81 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was lung cancer. Jim Ed Brown was an American country music singer who achieved fame as part of the vocal trio The Browns, known for their harmonious blend. He later had a successful solo career with hits like Papa Top. Brown was a beloved figure in country music, inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. Onet Coleman, he was born in March 1930 and he died in June 2015. His age was 85 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cardiac arrest. Onet Coleman was a groundbreaking American jazz saxophonist and composer, widely regarded as one of the principal founders of the free jazz movement. His revolutionary approach and improvisation and harmony profoundly influenced the direction of jazz music. Coleman's work challenged conventional boundaries and expanded the art form. Chris Squire, he was born in March 1948 and he died in June 2015. His age was 67 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was leukemia. Chris Squire was an English musician, singer, and songwriter, best known as a co-founder, bassist, and backing vocalist for the legendary progressive rock band Yes. His distinctive and influential bass playing was a cornerstone for the band's sound throughout their career. Squire was a pivotal figure in progressive rock music. Mario Biaggi, he was born in October 1917 and he died in June 2015. His age was 97 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Mario Biaggi was an American politician and decorated police officer who served as a United States representative from New York. Prior to his political career, he was one of the most decorated officers in NYPD history. His life was marked by both public service and later controversy. Margaret Juntwaite, she was born in March 1957 and she died in June 2015. Her age was 58 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was ovarian cancer. Margaret Juntwaite was an American radio broadcaster, most famously known as the voice of Metropolitan Opera Live Saturday matinee broadcasts. Her insightful commentary and deep knowledge of opera endeared her to millions of listeners worldwide. She was a significant advocate for and ambassador of opera. Ronnie Gilbert, she was born in September 1926 and she died in June 2015. Her age was 88 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Ronnie Gilbert was an American folk singer, songwriter, and political activist, best known as a founding member of the influential folk quartet, The Weavers. Her powerful alto voice and commitment to social justice made her a prominent figure in the folk music revival. She continued to perform and advocate for peace throughout her life. Gunther Schuller, he was born in November 1925 and he died in June 2015. His age was 89 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from leukemia. Gunther Schuller was a highly distinguished American composer, conductor, jazz musician, and music educator. A multifaceted artist, he coined the term third stream to describe music that synthesized jazz and classical elements. Genre was a prolific and influential figure in 20th century music. Pumpkinhead, he was born in September 1975 and he died in June 2015. His age was 39 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from surgery. Robert Allen Diaz, better known as Pumpkinhead, was an American independent hip-hop artist from New York City. He was a respected figure in the underground rap scene, known for his lyrical prowess and contributions to the independent circuit. His work influenced many aspiring artists in the genre. Jean Ritchie, she was born in December 1922 and she died in June 2015. Her age was 92 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Jean Ritchie was an American folk singer, songwriter, and dulcimer player, widely recognized as the mother of folk for her pivotal role in preserving and popularizing traditional Appalachian folk music. Her authentic performances and dedication to her heritage made her a beloved figure. She championed the dulcimer and traditional ballads. Jane Briggs Hart, she was born in October 1921 and she died in June 2015. Her age was 93 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was Alzheimer's disease. Jane Briggs Hart was an American aviator, activist, and philanthropist, notable as one of the Mercury 13 women who underwent astronaut training in the early 1960s. She was also a prominent advocate for women's rights and a co-founder of the National Organization for Women. Hart led a life of adventure and advocacy. Albert Evans, he was born in December 1968 and he died in June 2015. His age was 47 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Albert Evans was an American ballet dancer and choreographer, celebrated for his dynamic and ebullient performances as a principal dancer of the New York City Ballet. He was a groundbreaking figure, becoming one of the few African-American principal dancers in a major ballet company. His artistry and charisma left a lasting impression. Ben J. Wattenberg, he was born in August 1933 and he died in June 2015. His age was 81 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from surgery. Ben J. Wattenberg was an American author, political commentator, and demographer. Known for his insightful analysis of American society and politics, he hosted the long-running PBS public affairs program, Think Tank, and authored several influential books. Wattenberg was a prominent voice in conservative intellectual circles. Ralph J. Roberts, he was born in March 1920 and he died in June 2015. His age was 95 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Ralph J. Roberts was an American businessman and media executive, best known as the founder of Comcast Corporation, one of the world's largest broadcasting and cable television companies. He started the company with a single cable system and grew it into a media giant. Roberts was a visionary leader in the telecommunications industry. Harold Ledoux, he was born in November 1926 and he died in June 2015. His age was 88 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Harold Ledoux was an American cartoonist best known for his long tenure as the artist of Judge Parker comic strip. While in the Merchant Marine during the Second World War, Ledoux saved enough money to be able to attend the Chicago Academy of Fine Arts. Arriving in New York City, he began contributing to the famous Funnies comic books. Marva Collins, she was born in August 1936 and she died in June 2015. Her age was 78 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Marva Collins was an American educator, renowned for her innovative and successful teaching methods, particularly with inner-city children in Chicago. She founded Westside Preparatory School, where she achieved remarkable results by instilling discipline and a love of learning. Collins was a passionate advocate for educational reform. Jack King, he was born in February 1931 and he died in June 2015. His age was 84 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was congestive heart failure. Jack King was Chief of Public Information and a Public Affairs Officer for NASA. He's best known for his work as Kennedy Space Center Chief of Public Information during projects Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo. As part of this role, he provided public announcements and commentary for several of the mission's launches. He is best known for his announcement of Apollo 11 launch, which earned him the nickname Voice of Apollo. John Carroll, he was born in January 1942 and he died in June 2015. His age was 73 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. John Carroll was an American journalist and newspaper editor known for his work as the editor of Lexington Herald-Leader, the Los Angeles Times, and the Baltimore Sun. From 1994 to 2003, Carroll was a member of the Pulitzer Prize Board, and in 2002, he was board chairman. In 1998, he was named Editor of the Year by National Press Foundation. In 2003, he was elected an American Academy of Arts and Science Fellow. Donald Waxler, he was born in January 1926 and he died in June 2015. His age was 89 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Donald Waxler was an American architect celebrated for his innovative contributions to mid-century modern architecture, particularly in Palm Springs, California. He was known for his use of steel and prefabricated elements in his design, creating distinctive and functional buildings. Waxler's work significantly influenced the architectural landscape of Southern California. Vincent Musata, he was born in March 1941 and he died in June 2015. His age was 74 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was pancreatic cancer. Vincent Musata was an American journalist and editor famously known for crafting the legendary New York Post headline, "Headless Body and Topless Bar." A veteran of the tabloid world, he was celebrated for his witty and attention-grabbing headlines. Musata's work left an indelible mark on New York journalism. Arvin Rose, he was born in July 1926 and he died in June 2015. His age was 88 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Arvin Rose was an American biochemist who was awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 2004, along with others. They were recognized for their discovery of ubiquitin-mediated protein degradation, a fundamental process that controls nearly all aspects of cell life. His work had profound implications for understanding cellular processes. Kirk Keryn, he was born in June 1917 and he died in June 2015. His age was 98 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Kirk Keryn was an Armenian-American businessman, investor, and philanthropist, renowned for his significant influence in Las Vegas and Hollywood. He was a pioneer in developing Las Vegas resort industry and a major figure in the movie studio business, notably with MGM. Keryn was a self-made billionaire with a remarkable entrepreneurial spirit. Patrick Lennox Tierney, he was born in January 1914 and he died in June 2015. His age was 101 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Patrick Tierney was an American Japanologist, academic in the field of art history, an emeritus professor of the University of Utah, a former curator of Japanese art at the Utah Museum of Fine Arts, a former director of the Pacific Asia Museum, and a former commissioner of art and monuments during the Allied occupation of Japan from 1945 to 1952. Daryl Hamilton, she was born in May 1899 and she died in June 2015. Her age was 116 at the time of her death and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Daryl Hamilton was an American supercentenarian who was, at the time of her death, the oldest living person in the United States and the second oldest living person in the world. She attributed her longevity to faith and a healthy lifestyle. Hamilton was a cherished figure in her community and a testament to remarkable human longevity. Donald Featherstone, he was born in January 1936 and he died in June 2015. His age was 79 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was Lewy body dementia. Donald Featherstone was an American artist most widely known for his 1957 creation of the plastic pink flamingo. While working for Union Products, Featherstone resided in Fitchburg, Massachusetts, where he kept 57 plastic flamingos on his back lawn. Featherstone and his wife Nancy dressed alike for over 35 years. Elizabeth Elliot, she was born in December 1926 and she died in June 2015. Her age was 88 at the time of her death and the reason for her death were complications from dementia. Elizabeth Elliot was a highly influential American Christian missionary, author, and speaker. Her first husband, Jim Elliot, was martyred while attempting to reach an uncontacted tribe, a story she famously recounted in her book, Through Gates of Splendor. She dedicated her life to sharing her faith and experiences. Alan Weinstein, he was born in September 1937 and he died in June 2015. His age was 77 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was pneumonia. Alan Weinstein was an American historian, educator, and federal official, notably serving as the archivist of the United States. He also co-founded the National Endowment for Democracy. Weinstein was a respected scholar and public servant with a diverse career in academia and government. Harold Feinstein, he was born in April 1931 and he died in June 2015. His age was 84 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Harold Feinstein was an American photographer known for his captivating street photography, particularly his work documenting life in Coney Island and New York City. His images captured the vitality and spirit of urban life with a unique blend of intimacy and exuberance. Feinstein's work is celebrated for its humanistic approach. James Salter, he was born in June 1925 and he died in June 2015. His age was 90 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. James Salter was an American novelist and short story writer, highly admired by critics for his precise prose, elegant style, and profound exploration of relationships and desire. A former Air Force pilot, his writing often carried a sense of meticulousness and deep observation. Salter is considered one of America's finest stylists. Eugene Kennedy, he was born in August 1928 and he died in June 2015. His age was 86 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart failure. Eugene Kennedy was an American psychologist, author, and former Catholic priest, known for his writings on the Catholic Church, human behavior, and spirituality. He authored numerous books and articles offering insightful commentary on various social and psychological issues. Kennedy was a thoughtful and prolific observer of the human condition. Vincent Bugliosi, he was born in August 1934 and he died in June 2015. His age was 80 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cancer. Vincent Bugliosi was an American prosecuting attorney and author, best known for successfully prosecuting Charles Manson and his followers for the Tate LaBianca murders. He later wrote the best-selling book, Helter Skelter, about the case. Bugliosi was a formidable legal mind and a prolific true crime writer. Thomas P. Kennedy, he was born in August 1951 and he died in June 2015. His age was 63 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was pneumonia. Thomas P. Kennedy was an American politician. Kennedy served in the Massachusetts House of Representatives as the 9th Plymouth District State Representative from 1983 until 2009. In 2008, incumbent Democratic State Senator Robert S. Creighton decided not to run for re-election, and Kennedy ran for and won the now vacant state Senate seat, facing no opposition in the Democratic primary. James B. Lee Jr., he was born in October 1952 and he died in June 2015. His age was 62 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart attack. James B. Lee Jr. was a prominent American investment banker, known as Jumbo Jim for his outsized influence in the world of corporate finance. He was vice chairman of J.P. Morgan Chase and played a crucial role in many landmark deals throughout his career. Lee was a legendary figure on Wall Street. Clement C Pinkney, he was born in July 1973 and he died in June 2015. His age was 41 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was assassination. Clement C Pinkney was an American pastor and politician who served as a Democratic member of the South Carolina Senate. He was also the senior pastor of the historic Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church in Charleston. Pinkney was tragically killed in the Charleston church shooting, a devastating act of racial violence. Marvin Field, he was born in March 1921 and he died in June 2015. His age was 94 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Marvin Field was an American pollster and public opinion researcher, best known as the founder of the Field Poll, a highly respected non-partisan survey organization in California. For decades, his polls provided valuable insights into political and social trends. Field was a leading authority in public opinion research. Elson Floyd, he was born in February 1956 and he died in June 2015. His age was 59 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was colon cancer. Elson Floyd was a distinguished American university president holding leadership positions at several institutions, including Washington State University and the University of Missouri. He was known for his dedication to higher education, his fundraising prowess, and his commitment to student success. Floyd was a respected figure in academic administration. Frederick Paley, he was born in May 1940 and he died in June 2015. His age was 75 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was Alzheimer's disease. Frederick Paley was a distinguished American epidemiologist and cancer researcher, best known for his co-discovery of Li-Forman syndrome, a rare genetic disorder that predisposes individuals to various cancers. His groundbreaking work advanced the understanding of inherited cancer susceptibility. Lee was a leading figure in cancer genetics. David Francis, he was born in September 1932 and he died in June 2015. His age was 82 at the time of his death and the reason for his death were complications of esophageal cancer. David Francis was an American college basketball player who achieved legendary status for his incredible scoring feats. At Rio Grande College in the 1950s, he once scored 113 points in a single game, captivating the nation with his offensive prowess. Francis remains a memorable figure in college basketball history. Irvin Monstein, he was born in February 1924 and he died in June 2015. His age was 91 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Irvin Monstein was an American track and field athlete and coach. He competed in the decathlon in the 1948 London Olympics and later became a highly successful coach at the collegiate level. Monstein was known for his dedication to athletics and his mentorship of young athletes. Frank Cappuccino, he was born in February 1929 and he died in June 2015. His age was 86 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Frank Cappuccino was an American boxing referee known for officiating many high-profile championship fights throughout his long career. His calm demeanor and fair judgment earned him respect within the boxing community. Cappuccino was a trusted presence in the ring for decades. Dusty Rhodes, he was born in October 1945 and he died in June 2015. His age was 69 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was kidney failure. Virgil Riley Reynolds Jr., better known as the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, was an iconic American professional wrestler, booker, and trainer, renowned for his charismatic common man persona. He was a three-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion and one of the most beloved figures in professional wrestling history. His influence extended far beyond the ring. John David Crow, he was born in July 1935 and he died in June 2015. His age was 79 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. John David Crow was an American college and professional football player and coach, best known as the 1957 Heisman Trophy winner while playing for Texas A&M. He went on to have a successful NFL career and later coach at various levels. Crow was a revered figure in college football history. Nelson Doubleday Jr., he was born in July 1933 and he died in June 2015. His age was 81 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was pneumonia. Nelson Doubleday Jr. was an American publisher and baseball executive. He served as a CEO of Doubleday & Company, a prominent publishing house, and was also a co-owner of the New York Mets baseball team. Doubleday played a significant role in both the literary and sports worlds. Danny Villaneuva, he was born in November 1937 and he died in June 2015. His age was 77 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was stroke. Danny Villaneuva was an American professional football player who had a career as a place kicker and punter in the NFL. After his football career, he became a highly successful broadcasting executive, notably co-founding Univision, a major Spanish-language television network. Villaneuva was a pioneer in both sports and media. Bob Berry Jr. He was born in December 1956 and he died in June 2015. His age was 58 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was head trauma from a motor scooter accident. Bob Berry Jr. was an American sportscaster, a well-known figure in Oklahoma media for decades. Following his father's footsteps, he served as a sports director at KFOR television in Oklahoma City. Berry was a beloved voice in sports news for many years. Daryl Hamilton. He was born in December 1964 and he died in June 2015. His age was 50 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was gunshot wound. Daryl Hamilton was an American professional baseball outfielder who played for several Major League Baseball teams. Over a 13-year career, after retiring as a player, he became a baseball commentator. Hamilton was a respected figure in the baseball community. Buddy Landal. He was born in August 1961 and he died in June 2015. His age was 53 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications after a car accident. William Fritz Answer, better known as a Nature Boy, Buddy Landal was an American professional wrestler. He gained notoriety in various regional wrestling promotions during the 1980s and 1990s. Landal was known for his flamboyant persona and in-ring abilities. Harvey Pollock. He was born in March 1922 and he died in June 2015. His age was 93 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Harvey Pollock was an American statistician and public relations professional, widely known as the godfather of NBA stats and longest-serving employee in NBA history, primarily with the Philadelphia 79ers. He was instrumental in developing many modern basketball statistics. Pollock was a beloved and encyclopedic figure in the NBA. Damian Cook. He was born in April 1979 and he died in June 2015. His age was 36 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart attack. Damian Cook was an American professional football player who played as an offensive guard in the NFL for several teams, including the Baltimore Ravens and Detroit Lions. He also played in the Canadian Football League. Cook was a dedicated athlete who made his mark in professional football. Thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Have a nice day.